Hello everyone and welcome. Today we are going to level up our integration skills. Now I want you to think of this topic not as just another chapter, but as a brand new level in a video game. It might look a bit challenging at first, but trust me, with the right game plan, we are going to absolutely conquer it together. So let's get started.
So, have you ever seen a problem like this one and just felt completely stuck? This thing here, this is like the final boss of this level. It looks super intimidating, right? But I promise you, by the end of this short session, you will have the exact strategy to defeat this boss and others just like it very, very easily.
All right, so let's properly meet these new bosses. We're dealing with a special category of integrals here. And you know what? Your old methods, your go-to moves like basic substitution, they're just not going to be enough to defeat these guys. Nope, they require a special set of tools and some brand new techniques.
These are the four main types of bosses you'll be facing. Now take a good look. What's the one thing they all have in common? Can you spot the pattern? Exactly. They all have a quadratic expression, this ax squared plus bx plus c thing, sitting in the denominator. Sometimes it's under a square root, and sometimes it has a friend, a linear term, px plus q, up in the numerator.
You can't go into a boss battle without gear, right? Every good game has power-ups. To defeat these integral bosses, we need to collect 6 special tools. Think of these as 6 super powerful formulas that will be our main weapons. It's time to add them to our inventory.
And here they are, our 6 essential power-ups. Look at how they're organized. We have 3 main patterns, x squared minus a squared minus x squared, and x squared plus a squared. And for each pattern, there's a version without a square root, the rational forms, and a version with a square root, the root forms. Now don't worry about memorizing them all this very second. The real skill is just recognizing the patterns.
So this is the most important part. You don't need to panic. You just need to look at your problem and spot which of these 3 basic forms it has. Is it an x squared minus a squared type, an a squared minus x squared type, or an x squared plus a squared type? Then you just ask, is there a root or not? Once you identify the pattern, you know exactly which power-up from your toolkit to use. It's that simple.
But hang on a minute. What if the enemy is in disguise? Sometimes that quadratic ax squared plus bx plus c doesn't look anything like our neat x squared minus a squared forms. For this, we need a special skill to reveal its true form. And that secret skill is completing the square.
This is our main technique to customize any quadratic and force it to look like one of our power-up formulas. It's just 4 simple steps. First, make sure the coefficient of x squared is 1. Super important. Second, find the magic number. Just take the coefficient of x, divide it by 2, and square the result. Third, you add and subtract this magic number. And finally, you just factor and simplify. Let's try it.
Okay, time to put this skill to the test with a real example. We have the expression x squared minus 6x plus 13. Step 1. Is the coefficient of x squared already 1? Yes, it is. Perfect. So step 1 is done. Let's move on.
Now for step 2, the magic number. The coefficient of x is negative 6. Half of that is negative 3. And negative 3 squared is 9. So our magic number is 9. Now for step 3, we cleverly add 9 and subtract 9. We haven't actually changed the expression at all, have we?
Now for the fun part, step 4. We group those first 3 terms together. X squared minus 6x plus 9. That looks like a perfect square trinomial, doesn't it? That's because we made it that way. And the leftover constants, negative 9 and plus 13, we group them at the end.
And there it is, the big transformation. X squared minus 6x plus 9 becomes x minus 3 squared, and negative 9 plus 13 is just plus 4. So our whole expression is now x minus 3 squared plus 2 squared. Does this look familiar? Of course it does. It perfectly matches the x squared plus a squared form. Our disguised enemy has been revealed, and we have a power-up formula ready for it.
All right, time to learn the ultimate attack. This is for the toughest bosses, the ones that have that linear term, px plus q, hanging out in the numerator. This requires a special combo move.
This is the secret formula. Don't let it scare you. All we are doing is rewriting the numerator, px plus q, in this very specific form. A constant a times the derivative of the quadratic downstairs plus another constant b. The whole point of this trick is to break the problem into much easier parts. Our first job is to find a and b.
So how do we do it? Well, it's actually quite simple. We find a and b by expanding the right side and just comparing the coefficients of x in the constant terms. Once we have our a and b, watch what happens. Our one big difficult integral magically splits into two much simpler integrals.
Let's call this our two-hit combo attack. The first part, attack 1, is super easy to solve. It's always going to be a simple substitution. The second part, attack 2, is just a constant over a quadratic. Hey, that's exactly the kind of problem we already know how to beat using completing the square and our 6 power-up formulas. You see? We broke the boss into 2 weaker enemies that we can handle one by one.
So let's take a breath. We've collected all our power-ups, we've learned the special skill of completing the square, and we've mastered the ultimate combo move. Now it's time to put it all together into a clear, step-by-step game plan that you can use to win any question in your exams.
Here is your 5-step game plan. It's that simple. First, identify your enemy. What kind of integral is it? Second, if it's a general quadratic in disguise, customize it using completing the square. Third, if there's a linear term upstairs, use the combo move. Fourth, match the final, simplified form to one of your 6 power-up formulas. And fifth, you win. You solve the integral.
So, to quickly recap, we now know how to identify these special integrals. We have our 6 power-up formulas. We can use completing the square to unmask any quadratic, and we have the combo move to handle tricky numerators. You now have the perfect game plan. As the famous mathematician Paul Halmos said, the only way to learn mathematics is to actually do it. So go on, start practicing. You've totally got this.